in the moonlight. Yes. Go ahead. Thank you.
I'd like to say hello
Clark.
to Monica, my friend.
Monica. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
Does that wait so long?
Yeah, it's been like 7 years. Anyway. Yeah. So we're getting out there, right? Are we getting out there?
Hey.
Wait till you see the next guy, Stonefox. I guess whose pants am I wearing? Stonefox made these for me. Thank you, Stonefox. Come on.
Well, that last performance was really out of this world. Tonight I'd like to take you from this world into the out of this world of Dr. Seuss. And then beyond, like Brent did, into the world of dreams. Now, when I was a little boy, somehow I missed out on Dr. Seuss, and I had to learn about him as an adult. It was one of my veterinary nurses in my hospital gave me a book of the places you'll go, and after reading that, Dr. Seuss became one of my heroes for many different reasons, such as some of the following. First of all, he had a huge imagination, big, big. Secondly, he was an interesting artist, including being a sculptor. There's some of his work that's going around the country that has not only his drawings, but also some of his sculptures. So some of the figures in his books are also three-dimensional. And he was a great philosopher. He didn't say anything that wasn't said by somebody in the last 3,000 years, but he stated basic truths that needed to be said, and he said them in his own little simple, straightforward, clever, whimsical, and unique style. Now, he didn't need eloquence, he just needed simplicity with some depth. And all that was needed was a simple, playful, and inspiring message and messages that children and their parents could relate to, and they certainly did. Thirdly, he had a positive influence on generations of parents and children from all over the world. Some of his books were translated into 30 languages. And his books will continue to have a positive influence on many generations to come. That's the advantage of a book. For his contributions, he was awarded the Pulitzer Prize in Children's Literature, and it certainly was well deserved. Now, what he created and shared was appreciated by children of all ages, from 2 to 102. He loved whimsy, fantasy, weirdness, nonsense, and philosophical humor. He didn't play serious, he seriously played. So what's not to like? So let's take a look at some of the things that Dr. Seuss had to say in his many books over several decades. You're never too old, too wacky, too wild to pick up a book and read to a child. Today you are you. That's truer than true. There's no one alive who's youer than you. You'll never be bored when you try something new. There's really no limit to what you can do. So he built up children's self-esteem while at the same time suggesting humility. Horton the elephant reminded us that a person is a person no matter how small, and don't give up, I believe in you all. You don't have to be perfect to be amazing, and children are certainly that way. They can be perfectly amazing without being perfect. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the word extra, and that's a nice reminder that to try whenever possible to give more than is expected of you. And not every day may be a good one, but there's something good in every day. So these are just a small sampling of the messages that were read to children over and over, and generation after generation, that left his mark. So let's briefly move from the world of Dr. Seuss into the world of dreams. Let's suppose that one night before you go to bed, you're hungry, and you just hate to go to bed hungry, so you visit the refrigerator, And the first thing you see is a jar of pickles, so down they go. And on the shelf below it is a 6-pack of beer, and it's gone now. And you had just a little bit more room in your stomach, so you opened it up for the freezing compartment, and there's a pint of ice cream. Down it goes, and it fills up the space perfectly, and you've covered the 3 basic food groups. So you go to sleep right away, but in the middle of the night, like Brent, you have this nightmare. It's even worse than Brent's. It's about the worst nightmare you can imagine. You imagine that Dr. Stonefox has become the new Dr. Seuss, and what a disaster that would be for parents and children all over the world. So, what do you suppose some of the messages in that nightmare might look like? Well, here's a few examples. Just say perhaps to drugs. Stand tall and proud and walk with dignity. Keep your head higher than your middle finger. Get your spirit animal checked for rabies real soon. Today is a beautiful day to hide in the closet and leave mommy and daddy alone. Here's a glue stick to use instead of chapstick. Don't wrestle with your dreams, snuggle. Or your demons. Don't wrestle with your demons, snuggle. May your day be filled with hearts, rainbows, unicorns, butterflies, and other happy crap. Do unto others whatever you can get away with. You will succeed, yes indeed. 0.5% guaranteed. You have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes. Anything is possible when you're full of booze. You're not weird, you're just an extremely limited edition. Fantasy is fun to see because reality sucks. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better, it's not. So, be awful at caring. Animals are wonderful and we can learn a lot from them. For example, we can learn from cats how to ignore people. A friend with weed is a friend indeed. Talking to yourself is not weird, and in addition, for once, someone's listening. Greet others with a smile and get it over with. Now, authenticity is very important, so whenever possible, pretend to be authentic. Now, when you get that occasional brain fog, you haven't really lost your mind. Here's what happens. Half of your brain goes wandering off, and the other half goes out looking for it. So, it's just a warning to be careful what you eat before you go to sleep, because if you're not careful, Dr. Stonefox might meet you in your dreams in the middle of the night, and that wouldn't be good. So he would like to leave you with a few final thoughts. First of all, he wants you to make your todays so out of this world that your yesterdays get jealous. And Dr. Stonefox wants you not to overthink things. On the other hand, he doesn't want you to overthink things. And he hopes that gives you something to think about. And he wants each of you to know how important you are. Without each and every one of you, there couldn't be an everybody. So be happy with being yourself, and you don't really have a whole lot of choice because everybody else is pretty much taken, so you're kind of stuck with you, and good luck with that. And he'd like you to read his latest book, Self-Esteem for Dummies. Now, let me take a little closer look around here. Oh, wow. Well, his last thought, and most important, he wants you to know that each and every one of you is absolutely out of this world. and he hopes that you're not planning to come back too soon. Thank you.
Always fun when Stonefox is around. So,